Good afternoon. It's 7:30 p.m. on the east coast of Florida. We have a lot of breaking news because, of course, it's a Friday. I'm sorry it's a little bit late. I did have to take a few hours off today for some mental health decompressing because Florida, everything is way worse here, and I'll explain that in a minute. But one of the things we have learned is that a judge has paused Trump's plan to put thousands of the U.S. aid staff on leave. And this is actually Judge Carl Nichols, who is a Trump-appointed judge. So no, not deep state, not Biden, not Democrat, a Trump-appointed judge. And he said he would issue a very, quote, limited temporary restraining order in response to lawsuits filed by unions challenging Trump's plan to place over 2,000 staff members on leave as of midnight tonight. And so now that will be temporarily postponed until they hear from these lawsuits. So things like that, these legal actions, these lawsuits, things like that are working. And we actually saw a TikTok yesterday from Eric Swalwell where he actually used the F-bomb in the beginning of it, but he said, everybody, we hear you. Your phone calls, we hear you. We are inundated. And he said, we just want you to know, keep it up. You are doing the right thing. Remember, I told everyone that it was reported that Republican staffers were saying they were getting 1,500 calls a minute. And so Eric Swalwell said the same thing for the Democrats. And he said, while it is absolutely deserved that the Democrats are hearing from constituents, their frustration, their calls to action, he said, I'm going to give you a little tip. You need to also be calling the Republicans. And this is true because many of us live in such red state areas and we are represented by Republicans. Don't think that means that you shouldn't be calling them or that they won't listen. I mean, who knows? But it's important. You have to make those voices heard and known. And he said it is critical that you also say the things that you want to say to those Republicans as well. But yes, keep it up with the Democrats. And by the way, if you haven't downloaded the app, 5 Calls app, that's something where you can download, it's free, and then you put in your zip code and it will give you your representative's phone numbers and guide you how to call them and try to do 5 calls a day. So keep it up, everybody. It is working. Now, we also know that today a judge has ordered Trump's administration to keep confidential a list that Trump and his cronies there, including his lawyer, Emil Bove, remember from his trial where he was convicted for 34 felonies? Yeah, that lawyer from that trial. Emil Bove has a high position in the Justice Department. And so they came up with this list of all the agents, the FBI agents and employees who had helped investigate the January 6th Capitol riot. As well they should. We all saw what happened before our eyes. We saw the crimes. This would have been terrible for them not to investigate it. It would make all of us so much less safe, and especially those men in blue that Republicans and MAGA say that they are for, the Blue Lives Matter. It matters for all of them. Anyway, after that judge did that, so again, there are a lot of stopsticks that are getting in Trump's way. These judges are, putting in temporary bans, hold this and that. Well, Trump then said today that he's going to soon, quote, surgically fire unidentified FBI agents that he claims were corrupt. He said, quote, I'll fire some of them because some of them were corrupt. I have no doubt about that. I got to know a lot about that business, that world. I got to know a lot about that world. And we had some corrupt agents, and those people are gone, or they will be gone, and it will be done quickly and very surgically. So again, no evidence whatsoever that anybody or anything was corrupt. And I want to take this moment to read what Nicole Wallace read on MSNBC yesterday. This is a letter that is circulating inside the FBI, and it is written as a compilation of all of the different agents there so that people understand who they are and what they are doing and what they are fighting for. So it starts out saying, message from an FBI agent. I offer this vignette free of political bias or of moral judgment. It is not about one person, but an amalgamation of multiple FBI special agents. I am the coach of your child's soccer team. I sit next to you on occasion in religious devotion. I am a member of the PTA. With friends, you celebrated my birthday. I collected your mail and took out your trash while you were away. I played a round of golf with you. I am a veteran. This is the quiet side of me that you do not know. I orchestrated a clandestine operation to secure the release of an Allied soldier held captive by the Taliban. I prevented an ISIS terrorist from boarding a commercial aircraft. I spent 3 months listening to phone intercepts in real time to gather evidence needed to dismantle a violent drug gang. I recruited a source to provide critical intelligence on Russian military activities in Africa. I rescued a citizen being orcharded to near unaliving by members of an outlaw motorcycle gang. I intercepted and stopped a juvenile planning to conduct a school pew-pewing. I spent multiple years monitoring the activities of deep cover foreign intelligence officers, leading to their arrest and deportation. I endured extensive hardship to infiltrate a global child organization. I have been pew-pewed in the line of duty. Something else about me. I was assigned to investigate a potential crime. Like all previous cases I have investigated, this one met every legal standard of prediction and procedure. He's talking about the January 6th. I am now sitting in my home, listening to my children play and laugh in the backyard, oblivious to the prospect that their father may be fired in a few days. Fired for conducting a legally authorized investigation. Fired for doing the job that he was hired to do. I have to wonder, when I'm gone, who will do the quiet work that is behind the facade of your average neighbor? Who indeed? Are we feeling safe yet? And if that doesn't make your toes curl and make you want to put the covers over your head at nighttime, Trump's energy secretary allowed a 23-year-old Doge, hacker, to have access to the IT systems of our energy department. You know, the one that also has all of the nuclear stuff. Now, this access was granted over the objections of members of the department's general counsel even, and their chief information offices, and members of that staff said, quote, "This is a bad idea because this kid hadn't even had a standard background investigation needed to access the department's system." They said he is not cleared to be in the Department of Energy on these systems. None of those things have been done. Now, apparently, the Chief Information Office only does a small amount of IT and cybersecurity work for the National Nuclear Security Administration, but I sure don't like any of that in the hands of a 23-year-old hacker. Now, of course, all of us have been seeing the image of the new Time cover magazine that seems to be doing a very provocative move aimed at stoking Trump's fury and ego, where it features Elon Musk, not Trump, behind the resolute desk of the Oval Office. And a lot of us saw the video where they asked Trump about that at the White House today, and he looked super annoyed, like he could not hide that on his face. And apparently he said, "Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that." Now, speaking of Musk, remember that young other hacker staffer, Marco Els, who had to resign because the Wall Street Journal had reported all of his racist posts on X and talked about normalizing Indian 8 with an H? Well, Elon Musk says that he will be brought back. Yep, he said he'll bring him back. And he said, quote, "To err is human, to forgive is divine." Oh, really? Trump doesn't really go by that. Anyway, apparently they also got J.D. Vance's blessing, even though J.D. Vance's wife is of Indian heritage, and he should have taken the most offense at this. But he said, quote, "I obviously disagree with some of the posts, but I don't think some stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life." Oh, so he's even calling these folks kids. And he went on to say, "So I say bring them back." Wow. And let's just remind everyone, he also said, quote, "Just for the record, I was racist before it was cool." Go to part 2 and that will be it for tonight.